the breath of life into the temple by divine essence. Again, before the sun rises, Humam Abdulmalik with Blackanized international Nubian consciousness. Conscious chess moves. Peace, power, and love. From divine essence on the pathway of our ancestors. Here again to motivate, stimulate, and agitate a movement of us as a people to purify ourselves by divine decree in the essence of knowing ourselves and the blessing from knowing ourselves. And in this day and time, to through that purification, to clean up our community, to elevate our community, to unify in our communities, organize in our communities, to build an infrastructure within our community of collaboration between us. It is said it takes a village to raise a child. And the village is this community that we have. And me being a Washingtonian from Washington, and particularly now in Ward 8, and the violence and our children being abducted, our being in a state of stupor, of getting high, intoxicated every day or mainly on the weekends, where a lot of our monies go to, our resources go to, and being consumers and all, we have to reevaluate our motivations and our thinkings. Today, I want to just make a comment on a great meeting put together by Ward 8 Council Member Trayon White on the birth date of one of the greatest black men that was on the planet, Mayor for Life, Marion Barrett. What better way to give accolades to our great ancestor? But what I want to say is this here. With all the development and it was great. The people came out. We had the administration from the police department, Metropolitan Police Department, and people from other organizations. And I think, what her name, Sharice Crawford or something like that, she was a part of this, putting together of this, I'll say, great meeting with the great people that was there. The ANC member. A lot of ANC members were there also. Brother Muhammad, some other people from other great organizations was there, had great things to say. But my feeling and my thought is that what's going on in our community is coming from outside of our community, like it always been. This is no problem that existed today. This is a generational problem that we be dealing with in our community, of the drug selling and the guns coming out outside our community. And our youth or young adults or adults, that's their means of livelihood. And my precept and concept, the only way it's going to stop is the people that's perpetrating it on our end must stop. The people on the outside that's putting the drugs, bringing the drugs in the community, selling the guns to our communities, not only in D.C., Ward 8, but around the country. The same problem and situation exists, and it's always coming from outside of the community, inside of the community, because the drugs are not produced in our communities. They come in our communities, may be processed in our communities if it's powder cocaine or something made to the crack, but they're not even using that no more. They may be. But whatever they're doing, our young children, our young soldiers, our young representatives of our community, if they turn their lifestyle around. But they're being manipulated, and it's by design. We got to realize that the same government that we go to try to rectify this situation is the same government that brought drugs into our community significantly. 2 times we know for sure. Other times we might not be aware of it, but they're the one who control the plants or the growth of it in other countries. We think they go over there to fight them wars for diplomacy and to set up a democratic society. It's over there. They go over there to control the land. And what I'm saying, my point is this here, that we know that the weapons and the drugs come from outside of our community. And our community is like a distribution center after it's produced and made somewhere else. And even though our young adults buy the guns or buy the drugs, they are victims of, as they say, they need to eat. And that's their methodology of putting food on the table. And as I said, this is a generational thing. This ain't just happened. It happened last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. We can go back to the early 80s and late 70s when it was the most problematic thing in our community, the murders and stuff like that. I think we had the most highest rates during that period of time with the crack epidemic. There's a lot of it going on now, but the source of it is still from outside the community. We need to reach our young youth to bring them together at a table of peace to break bread so that their animosity, their negative energy and attitude towards each other can cease. They live around the corner from each other. They went to school with each other. Might be some kin to each other. But through this manipulation of a system that's in place, through social engineering, mass mind control, through social narcotics, white supremacy, and institutionalized racism, is the methodology, is the purpose for this taking place in our communities on different levels. Population control, eugenics, gentrification, they have to create this situation to get us out of the community, or the value of the community to go down and everything. But it's all hand in hand. And if we can reach our youth to stop this silent war that they're being manipulated to fight, to perpetrate this fear in our community. At the meeting, we heard little young boys saying they wanted to come out the house, but they were scared to come out the house. Or elders saying the same thing. Matter of fact, the ANC member, recall when bullet holes was coming through her front door. But we, as a people, must reach our youth, our young adults, to help them change, have a change of heart, change of mind, and a change of concept. Maybe if they realize that they're being manipulated and under robot control by design, then maybe it will stimulate something in them to reject this behavior. We have to reach them. We can reinforce the streets with police and all that, but what type of message is that sending? That you're hunting them down. You're hunting them like slave catchers. For their actions, we got to stop their actions. If we stop the actions in our community, then we don't need that that military force or the force of a hunt and catcher and lock up or sometimes kill. But it's enough of us killing ourselves. I say, I want that to stop. I feel the need for it to stop. I feel the need for you to be protectors of our community, guardians of our community, instead of being a detriment in our community. Because the young boy could be one of your sons who's scared to come out the house. And for the parents who allow our children to be drug sellers and know what they're doing, then you have to take a stand also. I think this has have to be a more of a community effort than seek and destroy by those officers of the law, of a fraudulent law. But we, as a people, should seek and ask to desist the activity that's destroying our community, have our community in the state of fear that it is. We have to go to the source, is my point. We got to bring them youth together. We got to bring our young soldiers together at the table of peace in order. This is some silver. I need something. Because that's where the problem is. The problem is with our young adults who have this social issue of this is their means of survival, of putting food on the table. We have people ready to put in place jobs or methodology for this. They don't have to use that methodology of selling drugs. If you take that out of the equation, maybe they'll put the guns away if they have something to take the place of their effort to get money and food on the table. But they have to come together. Where the conflict lies on different street corners or different or whatever, cliques or crews or a bunch of thugs, whatever people want to label our young warriors or our young sons and daughters or those who are in this negative activity. If we can reach them, not if we can reach them, we have to reach them. We have to bring them together to overcome what is transpiring in their minds and their hearts to keep up this killing and maiming of each other. And reverse the attitude and instill something other than a predatory, animalistic nature in action. And it's got to do with spirituality, culture, and all that. But we have to reach that. We got to go to the source. That's the source. being proactive, that's how we do it. Because if the other methodology, all we's doing is bringing in a source that these young youth or young adults, that's the opposition. They might go into hiding or whatever, but it's not going to stop. It's going to be the game still of copper robbers and stuff like that that's being perpetrated. We have to go, those of us who don't have the fear of our young soldiers or young warriors, we need to go talk to them specifically, the different pockets of them, and develop a way and a means to bring them together, to talk to each other, to overcome the hostility perpetrated upon each other. This silent war that's going on, that's by design, through manipulation. And that's the reality. The only way it's going to stop is that they stop it. If they don't stop the activity, it's not going to stop. No matter how many officers you have on the street, because that's all it's going to be, is like, I can get away or, get around them and thinking like that. We got to get them to thinking that they're being used and manipulated, and have something in place to take away from that value that they place on that to make their livelihood. Take away that subject or that quantum element where it be their source of money or livelihood, and make them realize that if they be content with a legit job, that it will be more beneficial for them and their family. Something that they can see, something tangible. The talk got to stop so that they can stop. We must be proactive in our action. And it was things said like, if we do bring police in our community, allowed to be police from our community that's known in the community, I say that the people in the community that understand that lifestyle, been through that lifestyle or whatever, and don't practice that lifestyle, but are respected and respect the youth, not for what they do, but because they are an extension of us. They are really protectors of our communities and guardians of our community. We just got to unify, bring them together to unify in our communities. We got to get away from that separation of each other. We got to come together in love. We got to do it very soon in this day and time, in this political climate. Because we don't know what's coming down the line. We know that the people on top of this corporation, the CEO of the corporation of this country or whatever, they got a ideology, or they got a plan they trying to implement, or not trying, they are. Every day is an executive order that's been in place that's going to affect us in the long run, not only locally but nationally. And as I said, this is not an issue that just popped up. We've been going through this issue generation after generation after generation. It's time to stop. This should be the new generation, the new movement, and the only way that it can be so is through us and through the perpetrators within our communities, and know that they're being manipulated by outsource. There's everything coming from outside of our communities into our communities to keep our communities in this detrimental state to ourselves. And while that's going on, we're having our children being abducted, our young sisters being abducted, and things of that nature through whatever means that is happening. So we gotta come together. We gotta use our young warriors to be part of this community effort to protect our community, to establish infrastructure in our community. And don't be so lackluster in being part of this movement and overcome the fear that we have. We got to protect our young children and have them to feel safer, or our elders who live their life, but now they shouldn't have to live their life in fear. They should be able to come outside their houses or can sit by the window, having the window open on the cool spring days or hot summer days or whatever. Let's take the element of destruction out of our community by working together in harmony and peace and love. Let's get away from that self-hate and demonstrate and stimulate with some self-love. Not medicate, but elevate. Not medicate through the drugs, but elevate through the spirit of love by divine decree. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, why? Why I can't, or why I do. Become a better you. Make a connection. Seek and you shall find. First you got to deal with you. Know thyself. Know who you are, what you are. A part of this divine essence is a blessing, and know that the energy of the Creator is in you in this temple, and know that you are an example in your community because people look up to you. But if they look up to you in the wrong way, then that example is non-void. But if you're doing the right thing and people already looking up to you and you're doing the right thing, that would be a better example. And we just got to connect those great examples and that leadership that's in the wrong light, have it develop into the right light, the divine light. Let's do this yesterday. Let's break this generational curse. Let's do it. Let's break this generational curse. That's all it is. And all we got to do is step out of it. Don't even participate in it no more. Don't even listen to it no more. Don't even listen to the commercialized lies, the subliminal suggestions that have you in a certain mode, in a certain state of mind. Come back to yourself. Come back to your people in love and peace and understanding. And the effort of all people involved to make our community a community of life, a vibrant life. Take the fear out of our community. Be protectors in our community and of our communities, of each other, in love, peace, and harmony. And I sincerely ask this of us, starting with myself. Be promoters of peace. Be stimulators of peace. Become family members, extended family members. Be part of the village. Be part of the movement to establish jobs in our community, to uplift our community. Let's work together. Let's overcome this animosity against each other. Let's overcome this animalistic behavior, this predatory behavior, this silent war that's going on. For what? Tell me, for what? Why do we grow up with somebody, knowing somebody, then we want to kill them, or maim them, or shoot them? Have that thought to hurt them. Let's have a thought of love, peace, and understanding. And let's demand of ourselves the righteous growth. Let's demand of ourselves unity in our community. Let's be a part of this movement to come together. Let's be part of this movement to put the gun down. Pick up a book instead of a gun. People, it's all about money. So let's be about the money, but let's be about the building of a mindset and a spirit. The money and all that will come. Let's be strong in love for each other. And I say peace, power, and a love supreme for us. Let's come out of this generation curse. Let's stop it now, this day, and this time. Let 2017 be remembered as when the people unified, came together and changed, and developed a harmonious community. This being a model, and it just goes across the country, across the world when we come together in a unified effort. We ask this in the name of our ancestors and the Creator, this one universal Creator. We ask that it will become so. Thank you. I just seen a sister that tuned in. Young, beautiful sister, matriarchy, melanated queen. I ain't going to put you on blast, but I love you. My daughter. But anyway, I love not only her, but I love all daughters. I love all sons as an extended family member. Not only my bloodline, but the bloodline of our people. I love. And that's what we got to realize. We got to be extended family members too, in order to create this harmonious environment, this harmonious community. We got to reach our young soldiers so that they can reach each other, sit down at the table of peace and break bread. This is a new day. We got to put forth a new effort to break this generational curse of those that's outside of our community. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. We can't go to our enemy to get help from our enemy. We have to develop ourselves to help ourselves in this environment. And that's my last point. Have a great day. Tell somebody you love them, hug them, and motivate them, stimulate them. Because it's us who got to save us. Nobody else going to do nothing for us. And see, we're not coming from a racist point of view. We're coming from a race point of view that we got to break this generational curse. Peace and love. Love y'all. Have a great day.